And next up, we have Jeff Williams, Managing Director of McPherson's Resources. He's been non-executive director of McPherson's in the past 6 years, but was appointed as the Managing Director for the company in 2016. Prior to this, he had extensive experience as Managing Director of Mineral Deposits Limited for more than 14 years and was responsible for the development of the Sabodala gold mine in Senegal, West Africa. Mr. Williams also serves as Director of Herenica Resources PLC. He has more than 16 years' experience as a professional mining engineer and 7 years in the banking industry. His mining experience ranges from mine planning, underground management, and feasibility studies through to mine development. Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Oliver. It was a great start anyway. Look, can I say to the organisers, I believe Nick Georgetta and his team should put their hands together, because this has been probably the best program I've seen in the last 5 years. So well done, guys. I think it's real credit to you, and I'm just glad I'm still on the program. All right. Last year I stood up and spoke about silver lead, and we've reinvented ourselves, and I'm talking about gold this year. And you really got to be quick on your feet when markets are in your favour. So, you know, we've had a fair bit of drilling success under the guidance of a very good GM here called Andrew Pumphrey. Go to our desk and he'll really give you a rundown, because frankly, he's forgotten more than I know about geology. So he's the guy who will really give you a good sort of go through this. But basically, we started drilling this. It's nearly a new discovery, been known for at least 100 years, but we sort of reinvent it through a little bit of science, a bit of structural geology, and frankly, we've drilled 23 diamond holes into our flagship project. You can see it up there, called the Barara Gold Project. And of the 23, most of them hit mineral. I'll give you a couple: 163 metres at 2 grams and 158 at 1.6, and it goes on from there. So we've had a lot of success, and you know, sometimes you might say, oh, you've had a little bit of luck, but maybe this is a major ore body. And frankly, I don't believe in luck. And the third thing that we've sort of got out of this, we're 10 kilometres from Kalgoorlie. And I don't have to tell the audience, if you're 10 kilometres from Kalgoorlie, the cost of development and the cost of operating comes right down. It is such a significant asset for us. Just looking around this room, it really plays into our hands, and not many people coming through as an explorer have this advantage. This is what we want to do. This is what I think. I sort of got a feeling, given I've developed a number of mines from scratch, and they've been big mines, and I've already got a feeling for what we need here. I think I know a feeling for what the grade is, and like a feeling for what we need in capacity. And you've got to have that before you drill it out. And I know if we put that RC program on there for $3 million in the southern stockworks, and that southern stockwork we know is now 500 metres long, 20 to 40 metres wide, it's down at least 200 metres, and it looks good, and it's soft ore. So when you put that combine through, we put $3 million worth of RC drilling on a 10 metre by 20 metre spacing. I feel we can pull off that mineral resource estimate by the end of the year. And it's not difficult, because we're 10 kilometres from Kalgoorlie. We've got access to all the drills, all the skills here, and we've already been through this process of this drill out. We're next to 4 gold mills, and they're all pretty hungry, they're always hungry. And those benefits. We've already done some gold recovery work, which you should do on your first drill hole, and you can see it up there, 96%. We're on a granted mining lease. We've got approval for water, we've got power on site, we've got the officers on site. And I just want to let you know, last October we did a trial mine pit, and I did this over in West Africa. You put the trial mine pit in first, you get to know what you know, and this trial mining pit turned this whole drill program around. It was so important to do it. And what I'll do, I'll run through this video and bring this into the room. You can see where we are 10 kilometres from Cal. And you'll have to listen to my voice, because I haven't got a big budget. But you can see the super pit. There's the super pit, Mount Charlotte, which we're very close to. And there we are in the background. There's the Nimbus Silver project from last year. Focus on the left, it's the Barara project now. And it's 10 minutes by car to this site. It's not far. And there we are. That's an old silver pit out there. There's the roads as we come in. This is a granted mine lease on both sides. And there's the extensive drilling, about 30 years of drilling, 70,000 metres of drilling across the strike of this project. And I'll tell you more about the Cataract. Is an old mine from 1900, 18 gram dirt. Crown Jewel is probably the most nuggets out of any of the, right around the Kalgoorlie field. And there's the trial pit. I'll set this button, looks just in here. And that made our whole drill program. I'll tell you about it in a minute. It's amazing what a drone does, isn't it? It's a reasonably flat surface. Look, it's easy dig, as we found it in that trial pit. You can see where we had to set out here, where we're bringing the material. We've got a waste dump over here. We basically went through the same process you would to get a mine up and running. That's how far we went down. And it didn't take long, and that was a credit to Andrew Pumper and his team. Here we are rolling along with the drone. And this was done by a local guy. He's done a mighty job. And here's some of the old dumps sitting here. I'm going to run down towards that. And this is running along a 1.5 kilometre strike. You can just sort of see it. It's reasonably flat, no difficulties. Rain doesn't stop you from moving around these areas. They're basically wet weather roads we put in because we had to haul out 30,000 tonne from the trial pit and put it through the Greenfields mill in Coolgardie. So everything's got to be spot on. Now we'll run down into the pit. I'll show you the ore body now. And it basically runs along that line there you're seeing at 330 degrees with your face north. And that's where we were sitting. And that pit, 120 metres long, about 30 metres wide, 20 metres deep. And this is the frog, the leapfrog, and you'll see all the holes we've put in, the 70,000 metres in extent. But those deeper holes are all our holes. And what we did, as soon as we stopped spinning, basically what we did, we turned the rigs around. Instead of drilling perpendicular at 90 degrees, we turned to 115, and we drilled these holes here, and they all went through the mineralisation. So we didn't do anything magical, but we turned this project around. A lot of people have had this project. I can say Newcrest, Newmont, there's been a number of them. Here's a shot of the 1.5 kilometres. That's the bit we've drilled up top there, the southern. And this is what it looks like, these stacked loads, and I'll go into that in a minute. But there's the pit there, and there's these stacked loads. That's 1 grams per tonne, those stacked loads. As we pull out, I'll give you a bit of a feel. And that's just the board, just run through it quickly. Everyone knows Ashok, I would have thought, the Palace Hotel. Me and Peter. Peter's been a great supporter out of the Red Kite group. And we've got about, you can see we've got 2.9 then, we've got a bit over 2 million now, and clearly we want to get into this project. And this is what it looks like from Kalgoorlie. You can see how close we are. You can see all the mills on the left-hand side. They're all within 40 kilometres and they're all pretty big mills. So that's an advantage. I think, to be frank, the biggest advantage is we've got the Barara sitting there with 232,000. That's only to 80 metres. So we've really had to get a lot of deep drilling to this project because in the past, people tended to drill very shallow. And that sort of disadvantaged the project, but it's an opportunity for us. There's the super pit. And there's the 10 kilometres. And it's a bitumen road out through Bulong and down 4 kilometres into the project. It's a big advantage. There's a shot then again of our offices here. You see the old mill there. It's just a quick shot. There's a shot back out of Mount Charlotte. Now, I've kept it there because the Mount Charlotte deposit is very similar, or we're very similar to the Mount Charlotte deposit. And it's been constructed in the same geological sequence in the same way. I'm not saying we're as big as it, I'm just saying the rock type's very similar. I wish it were bigger. So you know, the Mount Charlotte just on there is a footprint of 200 metres. You can easily miss these things. But it's got an endowment of over 6 million ounces. Now, this is what we learnt from the pit. And very quickly, if you look at that pit there, that was the pit wall that we did last year. There's these little striations, and it's pretty hard to see, but sorry, I can't get it there, but you can see across there, you can see those lodes cutting across there, the very fine veinlets that hold all the gold. Okay, now you can imagine those veinlets sit in packages, and so in the past, they always drilled 90 degrees to those veinlets. They drilled across it, and you could hit some of it. There's no doubt you could hit some, but you can't hit them all. So what we had to do was drill at 115 degrees, and the structural geologist with Andrew put this together, and our first hole hit that 163 metres at 1.94. It was 4.29 uncut. And I know there were some other grades we reanalysed and got them up again. We thought, well, we better not put them in because the director's hole becomes a real special then. So we thought, well, just leave it as that. Then we had some other nice hits. And there's been a lot more since then. We haven't got them all there. But, you know, we've done 23 diamond holes into this, and nearly every diamond hole's run through it. So you can again say, gee, you are very lucky, Jeff, and your team. But it's nothing to do with luck. This is a new find. And there's a section running down the 500 metres. There's a trial pit at the top. And there are the holes that have gone in. We just put on that section, there's about 17 holes. And you know, Andrew, to his credit, he positioned all those holes. And it was a bit difficult. It's not easy. It's complex. I come from Broken Hill. I know complexity. And to his credit, he's come up with most of the holes hit mineralised all the way down, and basically this zone is open at depth, but we haven't drilled at depth yet because we've really got to figure out the top 200 before we get to the next. But it's been a real credit to the team to get to this point and really show that we have a 500 metre zone. Now here's these Stax lenses I was telling you about, and that's a 1 gram cut. And you can see them stacked away in there. Now, if you come back and drilled, so I'll go back. If you come back and drilled back into the page, you could easily miss those, and that's what was happening. So we found this hit and miss arrangement in all the drill holes. So, but if you drill down how we've done it, you see all those lines. You can't actually miss them, and it's not unique, but it's good that we found out that we had this project, and we found that in the past it was supposedly 1 to 1.2 gram dirt. So we put that trial pit in. I've come to that trial pit. That trial pit was going to be 1.3 grams. So we drilled it out at a 4 by 4 metre spacing down 20 metres, and it came in at 2.03 grams. And so all that past drilling showed that it diminished the grade. And that was a very true grade because we put it through the FMR mill, and it came in at 1.73 grams recovered. So it actually all worked. It just shows you that the past drilling across diminished the grade. And since that, we've done a lot of work on reanalysis of some of the grades, and we've found that there's been an overcall in the grade. So basically, we've seen overcalls nearly doubling the grade because there's a lot of spotty gold in this deposit, which you haven't seen. Now there's a shot right down. You can see most of the drilling to 100 metres in the past. And we put these big holes down here, and it's been, that's what's been the big change down here. But what we've also found, we've got this package, and I'll just explain it quickly. It's 80 metres wide of a dolerite package. Just think of, that's where the mineral's going to be. But inside that dolerite packet, up to 40 metres, there's a quartz dolerite package holding all these veinlets. And that quartz dolerite package is what we've been intersecting. And that runs all the way along that 500 metres. I don't suggest it goes further because we really haven't done the work. But as we've been drilling, we've also found that we've got a very high-grade quartz zone on the contact. Now, this high-grade quartz zone is averaged, it's about 1 metre wide, but it's averaged between 7 or 8 grams up to 100. And that, so far we've seen it running for about 250 metres from that trial pit, which is in the centre there. Sorry, I'll go back. The trial pit in the centre, down towards the crown jewel. So this quartz zone is going to be quite significant later. So we've got 2 styles of mineralisation within this zone, and we found that in the 23 diamond hole. So we've got plenty of work to do, but it's all coming together. And you can see some of the old shafts there and the old systems that we were mined for before. And there's just a shot of the Mount Charles, just to show you, you can miss these deposits. Now that's a mighty deposit. It's gone down 1.3 kilometres, as I said, an endowment of over 6 million ounces. Nearly identical mineralisation to us. It's got all those little quartz veinlets like us. It also overcalls. So it's really important you've got to sort of see what you could be in the future. So it's been pretty exciting so far for us. There's a shot back, just showing you where we sit. We've got 20 kilometres of strike. We really haven't tested anything yet, but we're very focused on that Barara project. And we've done a lot of work in terms of working along the strike, and that yellow there is all plus 200 parts per billion. Don't have to know, but that's quite significant in the gold industry to hit that and hit that amount. So it's all going north, but forget going north. We're just back down the bottom here to the southern stockwork. So we've got a lot of work to do, but we're on the right track. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jeff. We've already run sort of 3 minutes into afternoon tea, so I think we should catch up with you around the conference for questions, if that's okay.
Sure.